That support though, it feels a little bit weird on spawn, right?
Little. They are massively lacking in lockdown right now, so Execration have this window to go, could they puck again? I really wouldn't hate puck.
Well, puck is always a treat to watch.
Imber spirit.
Kind of assuming that this might be the way that it's looking to go. I don't even know if this Ember's going to be mid. Like, I know Potato loves the Ember, but I feel like Ember does a better job at clearing the Eidolons than a Shadow Fiend would. The Razors, maybe if you stack them up, it's going to be a little bit more significant, but I really don't trust a Silencer to be able to deal with them all that well. Whereas Sleight of Fist, that does a pretty good job at dealing with them. Especially, it will also mean you've got a melee ranged lane, which feels a lot more reliable. So I wouldn't be surprised if they still ran this SF mid and ran Ember safe.
I think there is also still a little bit of benefit with having the Ember mid with the Mirana being able to rotate.
Yeah.
So a bit more difficult if you're in the side lane.
Really love this Morphling pick. Again, I was saying, like, could they go down the route of something like a puck? And just because they've got that relatively little amount of lockdown, you think Spirit Heroes, or you think puck, or you think someone like the Morphling, that you just give them a second and that's all that they need to be able to survive accordingly. So just go into the Manta style. You're up against the Shadow Fiend, who is most likely, again, going to be that right clicker. So something like the Aghanim Scepter is going to be really good against it, because he doesn't want to go magic because he's going up against a Disruptor and a Tusk. So I really like this Execration draft so far.
10 seconds remaining.
And I think we're now just looking for the playmaker for Palos, or at least the kind
You
of
think
the.
this could be a mid morph?
I think it will be. Yeah. I think Bob's gonna play it versus the Ember. Just trying to think. Well, I guess we're looking at spawns here next, looking for the position 3.
10 seconds remaining.
What do we want to try and give Momong Daya here? He likes his Dawnbreaker. They've been falling back a lot of the Dawn, the Primal Beast, the Marcy. I know Marcy's banned out, so kind of similar heroes to those 3.
I don't think that's going to do anything against the morph, though. That's my big issue. Like, Morphling is the hero that I want them to address with this last pick overall.
Yep.
What that's going to be, I'm not 100% sure. I think he plays a core Elder Titan. Could we see Elder Titan against the morph?
Interesting.
Even the what's the Earth Splitter? That's what it's called. Stops the black hole as well. So, yeah, possibility.
Yeah, a little bit there. Go back to the old counter in the natural order. It's natural order, right? That's
And SF. You've got SF as well, right? For pretty solid right clicks with the presence of the Dark Lord. You also got a potential Orb of Corrosion builder with the Ember Spirit. So I feel like you could really rip through the Morphling and even deal with the Eidolons pretty effectively with all that minus armor. Yep, give me Elder Titan.
10 seconds remaining.
And then I would probably, if I'm Execration, play Nature's Prophet, and then he would hate his life. I just want an excuse to see another Palos Nature's Prophet, to be honest.
yeah, definitely was a masterclass performance from him last time he played it. So we'll see what the pick's going to be for spawn. Nice call. Very nice.
Come on, man.
Very nice.
When's
call.
the last time you saw an ET?
Oh god.
All right. When is the last time we saw an ET? Was it TI?
I think KP played one in the groups.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't work out
Oh,
too well,
I mean in the
unfortunately.
Pro Series as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like the monkey. So, yep, it is going to be a mid morphling. I mean, I'm still going to say Execration, even though it's a really cool Elder Titan pick. He gives me the thumbs up there on the, the giant Thanos gauntlet. But, I mean, you're going to win mid lane. You should win the Monkey King lane. You've got... You've got a pretty good matchup for the off lane as well. Like, it's pretty hard to lose with an Enigma Tusk lane, right? So, where is the farm going to come from? You're going to just need Mamang Daya to pop off this game somehow, and I'm not sure exactly how he's going to do it. Can they influence the lanes? Maybe. But again, you're going up against a disruptor who will just be harassing you all the while, can just glimpse you back when you're going for these pulls, which breaks the creep aggro. Lots of weird little things are going to be happening this game. I can like Spawn have the heroes that could do it because of all the reasons that I mentioned, the minus armor, the good morphling, good-ish morphling counter, but it's going to need to go pretty late, I think. You're going to need like that instant like, could Delul get into the Hex? I think that might be their only option to win, is like if Mirana somehow gets a Hex. And then you find that initiation onto the Morphling, you burst him down before he's able to... Because you can't just global, right? He'll just Manta and run away. So it's rough, for sure, for Spawn. I'm giving them like a 25% chance.
25%.
I just really like this Execration draft. I like... This is pretty close to a 10 in my books. And like
a 10.
Spawns is like a 7 or an 8. It's not bad. It's just
Prepare for
Execration
battle.
is better.
What makes a 10? What gives you a...
What are they lacking right now?
I mean...
They got lockdown, they got pushing
Do they
power,
have
they win the
lockdown?
lanes, they got team
Do they
fight.
have lockdown?
Yes, they do.
Do they?
They've got Static Storm plus Thingo.
Static
Kinetic Field.
Storm.
Yeah, Static Storm plus Kinetic Field plus Black Hole plus Malefice plus Adaptive Strike plus Snowball plus Walrus Punch plus Boundless Strike. That is plenty of lockdown.
Why? What's going on? Trash talking Asta.
Oh. I don't even know who they're referring to.
I don't know who he's speaking to as well.
30 seconds
Were you
to
trash
battle.
talking, Asta?
Um,
Love that he's calling him Polas as well instead of Palas.
Solar.
Solap. I don't know. Anyone that uses a name that has like opposite meaning backwards is just really weird to me, you know?
Cringe. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like, grow up, kid. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're 2010. Like, kind of joke's over, right?
When was it that I did that? It was much earlier than 2010 that this name came into existence.
God, I can't wait till we change it.
It's never changing. It's iconic. People
Right.
call us like Daenerys at Daenerys at this
Pal.
point, so it's kind of iconic.
Palos? Orb Venom
The bop.
slow is... Yeah, definitely give him the bop. Are they going to be giving him the bop?
No. But he's almost out of regen already. Gonna need a creep to at least just get a... He's got a salve on Carlo. Just trying to interrupt it as quickly as he can, but it's the right pick for sure.
Oh my god. Oh, you got to...
I mean, this lane becomes a lot harder once they hit like level 3 as well. Because you get the 2 points in the Astral Spirit. You're going to have an escape, a nuke, and a stun on the Mirana. And you're always just going to be able to get, again, the better end of these trades with the Mirana versus the Disruptor. You've got preferable right-click, although not if you're just feeding your life away like this.
Alright.
Doesn't get the arrow off.
Carlo should still go down. Probably happy with dying. Didn't have enough mana. Yes, he had the health, but you get the free reset. And Palace, you can also bring him back some items, potentially.
I'm just thinking, like, the Elder Titan as well, like, that's just going to bring him a lot closer to that level 3, right? So I don't think it's the absolute worst. Of course, Palace was there for the solo. Already used the arrow, though, so Palace is just going to continue to take a lot of this harassment, and well, he's been... had his healing self brought to him by Carlo as well, so the lane's going to be still okay for Palace, but I'm still a little bit worried. Like, he got the Orb of Venom a little bit later, and he hasn't really been doing too much of this trading. He even was able to cancel it there, so Mamang is playing this lane incredibly well.
And our other side lane looking pretty decent at the moment. Tino 8 and 5. Of course, a lot of denies to be expected for the Enigma. Is this a lane that he should be pretty worried about? Have they got an easy time dealing with the Eidolons, or can Tino get a lot out of this?
I think Tino should get a lot out of it. Maybe once you hit level 3 on Jikroy, it's going to be a little bit more challenging just because the 2 points in the Shadow Rays, you get the bonus per stack. It makes it a little bit harder for them to just run away. They're kind of slow as well. I think they gave him a bit of a movement speed nerf a couple of patches ago. So with that kind of
Top
sticky
lane?
napalm-esque-ness.
Nice balance track to be able to cover Carlo to get back to the tower.
With the how it slows each time you use the Shadow Rays, it's going to feel quite nice just to be able to burst them down. But you've got to make sure that you're actually getting the kills and converting onto it. And then mid lane, kind of unexpected. I mean, look at how Potato is doing against Bob. He's got like a 400 net worth lead right now.
It should now be okay for Bob. I think it really starts to change when you get the second point in the attribute shift early on, because you don't have that kind of damage advantage, but I'm still a bit surprised at how well it started.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll continue like this now, though, that Bob has been able to find his levels.
Oh, for sure. But even just from the very beginning, any little advantage that you can get in this matchup is very welcome. Although Bob is starting to get a fair few of those denies off now.
Yeah.
Even just using the glyph to make sure he doesn't get any of this free XP, trying to... That was for the flag bearer creep, by the way, in the mid lane. Potato really trying to protect it as much as possible, even just for the little things like the HP regen.
Do see a kill in the side lane as well, down bottom. Shank's going to go down to the combination, so nicely done. I believe that was the Silencer who was rewarded for the kill. Shank's like, alright, why not? You know, I'll TP mid, try and refill the bottle for Bob. Give him and try and further enable his star. Top lane, Palos. Glimpse back. The Lord does land the arrow. Don't think he's going to have enough damage by himself, as Mamungai still comes charging him, but a little bit too late.
They're doing a great job with this harassment, though. I mean, my big issue is... Oh, is he... Yeah, okay, he's got the Tango shared in the backpack. You got to just make sure that you're playing around the Astral Spirit being off cooldown. And it's getting to be a smaller and smaller window. They're actually going to try and make a kill happen here onto Mamang Dai. This would be pretty enormous.
Glimpse back. One more right click before the Echo Stomp. Beautifully done. That's a big kill for them to find, considering how much gold they've spent on the resources.
I really want to see Palos getting into a little bit more of the... I want to see a super early power treads come out for him. Just for that extra attack speed that he's going to need for these trades to happen. I don't want to see too many points of the tree dance. Maybe just the one for the movement around the map. But in terms of just this laning stage, you can't let the ET get out of control, because Morphling should be in a position to carry this game for you. Just got to prevent the biggest counter to that.
Arrow just look at him on the little bum there of Palos. Gotta get it out somehow. I tickled him on the bum. The arrow just tickled him. What do you mean? Just flew right past him. Just give him a little tickle.
It's so stupid.
Just sip the nose hairs a little bit. Got too close for comfort.
There we go. Nose hairs is a little bit better.
I bet, alright.
How many nose hairs have you got? You're not that old.
Nah, they're coming. Oh, Jesus Christ. Not the creeps. Not the creeps. Delul gets a nice and easy kill.
Now, he still had all of his leap charges as well, so could have very easily picked that one up. They're going to try and get this kill onto Potato before he reaches level 6, but he's got the vision of it. Value of that Observer Ward being placed up freshly after it just expired, and they should know that they've got some sort of vision there. That's what all the pings on the map are for, even just refilling Bob's bottle, realizing that it's just about securing him this very start to the game. Getting the deny onto the siege creep. Gonna potentially go for an attempt here, but that sentry just out of range.
It's pretty important that Potato has the double damage rune about to hit level 6, though. We could see him make a play across the map, or even it's going to be that much more difficult for them to gank him now. We could just survive on a slither of health, a teammate comes to help him out, and they could get the turnaround. So I'd like to see them try and do something with this DD, though.
I want to see him try and play around it with this creep wave. Like, it's pretty strong creep wave, and you've still got the siege creep at 7 minutes in. So try and pop it, get some aggressive movements onto Bob if you can. Right now, though, it feels like he's just sitting back a little bit, although he's waveformed forward on Bob. I guess that creep wave's gone away, but feels like a little bit of tower damage that you've let slip by.
Times are hard.
How much of a lead did he have earlier on the Ember? You said he had a lead, right?
Like 400,
Jesus, well,
Double damage
Oh,
1100
no.
swing, yep.
not looking good at all. It's going to look to try and make a play down bottom. Taping into the lane, but Shanks has already got enough distance away. And
Is under attack.
I mean, he did it right with a creep hitting him. Like, it was really obvious that he was making some sort of movement, an uncharacteristic error coming out from Potato on one of his more comfortable heroes. They're going to try and get this kill on Tino. It's not quite level 6 just yet.
or at least they get something out of this rotation. Shanks even going to reveal himself as well, so still sticking to the lane. Potato might be able to find another kill, but Slight's only level 2, so still relatively long cooldown. Oh, he doesn't have
They
boots
just want to
as
keep
well.
him down here for as long as possible. Yeah, it's coming out to him on the courier now, I believe. So any time that you can just give this Morphling to free farm, you're super happy with this. And it's another one of these instances where Execration, they realize that kills don't necessarily matter for the outcome of the game. They were down, I think, 10-6 in game number 1, and they ended up with only one more kill on spawn after that. So it was kind of crazy the amount that they were able to swing it around and really realize that farming is the game changer these days. It's not about kills. You get much more kills from creeps, especially early on. Much more net worth, rather.
And they got a lot of heroes who are able to farm at an incredible rate.
Tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, looking to go on to Jikroy. Playing with the idol into the moment. They didn't get the split, but it will not matter. A big kill for them to find with the Shadow Fiend stepping a little bit too far forward. Now on the river as well, Delul. Still got some leap charges to play with. Carlo is trying to cut off the pass, but Delul, well and truly okay.
The thing I've been a lot more impressed with in Execration in recent times is their itemization, right? Like I was pointing it out with the pipe last game on Tino. I thought it was the perfect pickup, considering he was the one that was getting gone on by a heavily magic damage lineup. And even just smaller things like making sure that they only make this kill attempt happen on the bottom side when they've got infused raindrops on both the Enigma and the Tusk, so that there's not as much of that turnaround potential for Jikroy. At least now he's level 5. So level 6 rather, so you can clear out those Eidolons a little bit easier with the 3 points in the Shadow Rays, but it's just little things like that that separate the good teams from the great ones.
We even see
Tato as well. Got the vision inside of the jungle. Shanks even looking to go for perhaps a blind attempt here, but I'll be happy enough just forcing him to use another one of those remnants to be able to get away.
Oh.
Palos is on the hunt though.
Oh boy, there's a lot of... Oh, did they see?
They know.
Okay.
They do. Tower sees all.
Jikroy though, he's gonna run into Bob. A double damage rune on the Morphling. Should be able to get back to the safety of the T2 tower. We'll force a member to TP, and in fact, that was Travens from the T1 tower. Meanwhile, mid lane, Potato.
This is the one.
Aggressive
they know that the kill's going to come onto Carlo.
Oh, no. He tried to remnant dodge the glimpse and then went back in afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if the remnants gave vision like they used to, then obviously you wouldn't make that attempt, realizing how risky it is to get on top of a Morphling. But again, this is what you have to do. Whenever you're going up against this matchup with the Disruptor and the Ember Spirit, you know exactly what the Ember's wanting to do. This isn't something new, right? You just got to make sure that you're taking out the Ember when he decides to go for those super deep dives. So the fact that Bob made that movement towards the bottom lane without using the TP meant that he was freed up to be able to make that rotation back. So again, like Execration, they're just thinking one step ahead of their opponents.
That's the big brain stuff you need, right? To think one step ahead. If you can do that, then everything would be easy.
Now they can just set Palace up on this bottom side. It's actually ET getting ganked by just a couple of supports here, and it's probably going to go down.
Just a couple of supports. Why you wanted to sell in these two? It's Carlo and Shanks, the ballers.
Yeah, but this is meant to be the duo that like takes over this game for you, right? Like that just absolutely obliterate you, and the Morphling is out of control now. I mean, Ember Spirit is 2,000 net worth behind the Morphling. It
Bottom
is
lane, they
getting
might boundless into
nutty.
Black Hole.
Oh, all right, nicely done.
Maybe feeling like they needed the extra little bit of damage with the Wukong's command as well, so... yeah, great reactions.
Looking to get every little bit of net worth that he can on Potato, making sure to stick around for that bounty rune. But yeah, right now the main focus should be, of course, like Ember's kind of been put in the bin, so you're not worried about him scaling. Even it's going to be a while until he gets into anything that does damage, like even just an Orb of Corrosion, let alone the Maelstrom. So right now their main priority needs to be that Elder Titan. He's the one that's going to enable this Shadow Fiend to be super effective against the Morphling. SF, Presence of the Dark Lord, it's not going to be enough on his own. You got to make sure that you're getting kills onto the ET so that not only is his own damage not going to be as much of a factor, but just getting rid of that natural order is so huge.
What does the skill build kind of look like for a position 3 ET?
I think what he's got in the Echo Stomp now is probably enough. Like, maxing out the Astral Spirit, that's core, regardless. But I would be putting more into Natural Order from now on. Just get it completely maxed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shanks should be chased down. Any of the boys want to try and TP in? They're diving pretty deep, and Shanks is even going to make him work for it with a shard, so the Arcane Curse is maxed out. Not going to be enough to take him out, though, so at least it does kind of force away the defender from the tower, so Spawn will be able to get their first objective of the game.
I just feel like one of those games again where, you know, Palace, he's kind of gotten out of control a little bit, and he's going into that early Desolator, the mid-1 build, I like to call it, where you just get a lot more aggressive around the rest of your team, realizing that he needs to be a bit more of that playmaker as opposed to Bob, who, you know, 2 games in a row now, he's been given that hard carry role. TA in game 1, Morphling in game 2, and like we were saying before, that Mantis style, so key to be able to counter out not only the Searing Chains, but the Global Silence as well.
Smoke up from Execration. Oh, Arrow's going to connect, so they should know someone's nearby. Things are coming out. Radiant starting to react. They're going to bring their numbers potentially for an engagement. Echo Stomp onto 2. They've got the Wraith Pack laid down, though. Not an easy fight, especially with the Static Storm instantly dropped on the Ember. Not much of Radiant going to be able to get out of this. Travers will try and TP, but Shanks has the punch to hold him down.
They even got the deny onto the Wraith Pack, not wanting to give them any free gold at all. And now, again, another lane just being assisted by that Flag Bearer creep. They've got the Wraith Pack, like you said before, completed too, realizing how much physical damage is the focus. He's been really hesitant on Delul to use that leap just for the extra little bit of attack speed. I know just 1 point is only 25, but it feels pretty significant just being able to, again, clear out things like the Wraith Pack to deal a little bit of extra damage in the laning phase to the Disruptor.
Oh, Potato.
Would have allowed it to get some
Oh
kills.
no, he remnanted straight back to Execration. We're ready and waiting. Tino and Shanks were starting to connect down bottom, and then all of a sudden an Ember popped out and a Black Hole was used.
This is just one of those games where it feels like no matter what you do, nothing works out, right? And you're going to have them every now and then, but man, this is rough for sure. I mean, it is one of those things that, like I was saying about the Disruptor into the Ember matchup, where you can plan for it accordingly. It's something where we haven't really seen him play the widest range of heroes, have we? It's, like you were saying before, was it the Ember and the Batrider, and that's basically it on Potato?
Yeah, mainly, yeah.
Yeah, so...
They're
like,
sitting on Jikroy. Palos to start, Shanks to follow. They're going to be able to hold him inside the Wukongs, and oh my god, maxed out tag team. Just look at him evaporate.
They just had the Desolator picked up as well, so even further damage towards that purpose. It really feels like all that Execration are waiting for now is that Mantis tile for Bob, and well, he's even been able to pick up an Illusion Rune for himself, so you can accomplish multiple things. Push the lane out, continue to get that net worth lead, pick up the Manta, and then have 4 illusions, just helping to push you out, get you even more net worth lead, potentially even take that early Roshan. You've got a Tusk for that purpose. 4 points tag team, Desolator, why not?
It's just crazy though, because it feels like Execration, then they're not worried about a timer at all, and they're still getting kills and still just getting so much farm across the map. Like this net worth lead is just, it's at a stage now where if it keeps going on this trajectory, Spawn are gonna be tough for it to come back from. Bottom lane, like potentially another kill. Static Storm into Tino's damage. Mamang Dai is actually relatively survivable, and well, now they should be able to get the turnaround onto Carlo. They do have the Morphling starting to move down bottom though. Potato secures the kill and also gets out.
Needed Shanks there, the absolute Chad. Needed the damage. Having to use all of the leaps back, and well, maybe considering going for this kill onto Delul, but won't be able to claim it. Again, I like the idea. You got to make sure that you're locking down Mamang Daya. He's got the Echo Saber. He's starting to build into that Aghanim Scepter, but you know, it really doesn't feel like you hit that really scary point until you're level 15 with the Aghanim Scepter. I mean, an ideal situation is you have both of those and a BKB on top of everything, but that's not going to be the case this game. And then by that point, who knows what Bob's going to have. Scoping out the jungle with the illusions right now. Only 100 gold away from that Manta style, and really does feel like that's going to hit a pretty similar sort of timing to Tino having his black hole back and available.
Radiant are scanning.
So right now, the main priority is just fixing the lanes a little bit.
Middle tower is under
Keep them
attack.
pushed in. Surprisingly little attention being given over to the mid tower, but Carlo's moving there now. But you can see Palos pushing top, Tino pushing bottom, Bob being as close as possible to that that secret shop to be able to pick up the Manta style. They'll get one last bounty rune, and it feels like go time to me. I don't think they need to wait for Tusk getting the Blink Dagger or anything like that.
It looks like they've got a 2-1-2 set up at the moment though, Execration.
They see Bob though.
Top lane. Oh boy, Travin's obliterated once again. Tino.
Must be a little careful. You don't want to walk into
Does
that
he?
midnight pulse.
Maybe not. Turns it around. Buyback into the global silence to prevent the black hole, and
In glimpses? Ooh, doesn't see it. Otherwise it would have just tossed Jikroy all the way back. Still no glyph, but doesn't seem like they're all that confident to move on forward, even without the global silence. So, you know, putting a lot of value into that black hole, I suppose. Just wanting with how close you are to the Blink Dagger on the Tusk, I could see why. You know, just wanting to get it. I can understand if they wanted to go a little bit earlier with their previous attempts, but they're not as concerned anymore.
let's see if they're gonna have the damage for Potato.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, nice
Oh,
slide.
good use to the slide, yeah. Let's take out a creep wave with a single boundless strike. Very fair. Give Shanks his Blink Dagger. Palos, don't be greedy. There we go. Alright, so are we closing in on anything on spawn? Doesn't really seem like it. Oh, and never mind. Maelstrom picked up by Potato. So
Alright.
you got some lane shoving potential. That's nice. And halfway towards the Aghanim Scepter on Elder Titan. It's got the point boost that you can disassemble the Echo Saber. Of course, you love having that double right click, but Makers can't be choosers. Specialist array is kind of nice though for Jikroy. Still wants to hold on to the Brigand's Blade though.
Do we feel like maybe the Shadow Fiend? It's gonna be so. It's gonna take way too long potentially. But are you looking for a BKB, and then maybe this is like your kind of the first peak we're gonna get of the SF, or?
Whatever he feels that he can pick up by the time ET gets Aghanim Scepter is what he wants. So I would say BKB probably fits into that niche a little bit. He might even be looking to go now. Get the
Smoke on
global up in
smoke.
3 seconds.
I was gonna run into the river. The Disruptor's not the worst target to bring down first, but look at the backstab. Palos lands the Wukongs. Jikroy locked inside the rings, actually able to get some distance away at the last second. Not the worst engagement to start, a 1-for-1. But Shanks is looking for more, already trying to close the distance onto Jikroy.
What a Chad.
All he needed was just a little bit of damage coming through thanks to the abilities. And now they even spied out Delul as well, hiding in the tree line. Some lead charges will not be able to escape as Bob can follow if needed. Very hesitant about going for this kill. What is going on?
Oh, Delul styling.
What's happening, Bob? Waveform's out. He's lacking some mana now on the Morphling, but no one will be able to catch up to him.
Radiant's top tower is
I mean, nice plays coming through, but they had the chance to Boundless Strike him so much sooner when they caught out the Mirana there. They'll still get this top tier 1 tower, I suppose, but they could have got so much more.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Big though. Gives Mamang Dyer a bit of time to get that next item. He still hasn't put a single point in the Earth Splitter. Obviously valuing the attack speed talent, the maxed out natural aura a lot more. Understandable. You gotta get 1 point though. It's pretty good value. Not using mana on too much else.
It's so wild that Delul just was still able to TP up right in front of them. Crazy, crazy stuff. They were still trying to chase him down. Yeah, it's just built different. Honestly, Delul's, I've been, regardless of the result of this series, I've been incredibly impressed with Delul's position 4 performance throughout the tournament. I think he's adapted very well to the change in role as we'll see it could be a big factor for them being able to defend this Rosh.
Nice
Arrows on the mark, sucked into the snowball and brought on forward, potentially to his own grave. On the other side, Tino just a little bit too late with the black hole as Jikro's going to try and turn it. Requiem time perfectly as it waveformed up and wasn't ready for the fear. Travanzo
Giving up your life though.
push further back. Do they just want to get the kill onto the silencer? Tino should be able to do so without, but the Boundless that cuts him down.
Yeah, still close, but so far away from being able to pick up that 4 staff. Again, it's one of the big weaknesses of the silencer compared to someone like that Mirana, is that you might provide a whole lot more with the big team fight ultimates like the Global Silence, but if you get caught out of position even once with no items, you are just completely stranded. So makes the whole life a whole lot harder. They do manage to get rid of that Aegis, and I believe that's now the Aghanim Scepter completed for the ET. So he's at least level 12 now, but again, it kind of feels like not enough. You need the level 15 as well. You need that extra Astral Spirit hero attack to be able to come through. And, you know, by that time, you'll probably have the Echo Saber finished up again, maybe the BKB. I suppose with that Aegis going away, you're at least feeling like, all right, we got a little bit more time. But I'm pretty sure Bob is 300 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter, which against a right-clicking Shadow Fiend is not what you want.
Just off the mark. They're actually going to still take the team fight. Snowball to the middle. Shanks gets a silencer, and off to the left side, Carlo is holding Mamang Dai down. Meanwhile, Palace is having his own 1v1. Monkey King one right hit away from dying, but the mischief gets him out. Beautifully played from Palace, and now with the rest of Execration have shown up to clean up the fight. Nothing that Jikroy can do with the Shadow Fiend at this stage of the game, and Shanks is already looking for more. A punch into the blink away means that Bob has got perfect time to be able to close the distance, and they're even going to look for the full team wipe in the end, as glimpse back into the Boundless means there's nothing that the Elder Titan can do. An ultra kill for Bob and a wipe for Execration.
And an Aghanim Scepter for his troubles, just about to hit the level 18 as well with one more creep wave, so... You know, 10 out of 10 drafts, they don't come along too often, Lockie, but when they do, this is what happens. You know, you win 2 lanes very comfortably, you've got the better late game, you've got the better responses, there's no big holes in this draft. I mean, if you had to give a hole, it would be the fact that they don't really have the greatest way to be able to push out lanes, but the reason I valued it so high is that Spawn don't really have the greatest lane pushes either, so you weren't going to be punished in that regard. And so I feel like whoever's doing the drafting for Execration, whether it be their coach or one of the players, they need to give themselves a big pat on the back if they're able to just continue with this momentum. Even getting into the Skadi next, I think that'll put it beyond doubt that Execration will be able to close out this one against the Shadow Fiend, even against the Elder Titan with the Aghanim Scepter. It's going to massively hinder the effectiveness of him just chasing people down.
Shanks. Alright, we'll go down. Nice little combo set up from them. They're able to get it.
Clever attempt, though. If the Mirana wasn't there, he would have gotten away.
Shah's kind of just to push away.
Yeah, he would have been running back towards base.
Wee.
Is that you on a roller coaster?
Sometimes. Depends how crazy we get, though.
What's your favorite roller coaster you've ever been on?
Oh, I don't really like heights, so I don't know.
Oh,
Like roller coasters.
So you lied straight to my face.
What do you mean, how? I mean, I will go on roller coasters, but it takes me a while. Like if so at the end of like a full day on a roller coaster, like full day at a amusement park, I'll be like, all right, you know, my fears have kind of, you know, I've been able to conquer them a little bit, but then, you know, next time I go back, I need to reconquer them again. So.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Like you know the Tower of Terror or the Giant Drop or whatever they're called, the ones that just like lift you up and then drop you all at once. Hate those. Absolutely hate them. I'm terrified of heights as well. But a roller coaster, put me on it. You know, I don't care as long as I'm moving fast. That's all I care about.
Moving fast, zooming around, just getting the adrenaline going.
That's how I get my
Dire's top tower is under attack.
my steps in. I was trying to say it and fool people thinking that I'm fit, but you don't walk on a roller coaster.
Radiant's middle tower is
Now,
under
that would be
attack.
a difficult attempt to be able to convince someone that. I'm sure you can come up with a better excuse.
I've convinced you of worse things.
Have you?
And I'm a skilled and talented player. That's a lie.
That is debatable. I don't know. We've seen some of your games before. Hard stuck in silver. Tough.
What the hell is silver?
Under attack.
I am a master tier Overwatch player. I'll let you know.
It's a what? Master tier. Is there even? I don't think there's master.
There is, but that
Is it?
shows what you know. Hard stuck bronze. Okay, in Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2 hasn't been out for long, and I haven't really played it that much, but yeah, back in Overwatch 1.
I bet you're a Mercy little
Nope,
loser.
don't touch Mercy.
Oh, bye, Delul. It was lovely knowing you.
Radiant's
Oh, he's just not even moving. Oh, okay.
Such little faith in our main man. He dodged a gank
Oh,
once,
Requiem?
and you think that he's just gonna... Alright. Free kill. I mean, you'll take it at this point. You gotta get every little bit that you can on Jikro. He's almost level 18. I mean, Requiem damage does matter against someone like that Shadow Fiend, right? What's he working into on Delul? I mean, he's got the Spirit Vessel. I kind of hate it, just because, again, look at what you're going into. You got BKB, you got Manta Style. You're always going to be able to get rid of it. So I would feel so much more confident if
Monkey?
you spent all of this.
Eats the arrow in the tree. Palos.
Hey, just jump out of that.
Say that again?
The tree, like, died, so you should have... Did he jump out before the...
Did the tree
Ghost
die?
Splitter?
Are you sure? I don't think Ghost Splitter kills the trees. Bob?
Looked like he did.
Hang
he is still
on.
very agimorphed, but okay, just let him live.
Alright. Are they just gonna high ground now? What's going on?
Maybe. No Requiem for 45. Who's dying here? Well,
Silencer?
that is Shanks with just one other person able to get a free kill off there. Yeah, why not go high ground? Palace looks like he wants to get that free
Oh,
pickup.
boy.
And, yeah, who
Buyback
better than
of
Ondale, the
There we
Titan?
go. Gonna be able to, this is a big opportunity for them now. They're heavily committed. Paolo's gonna try and play with the Wukong's command ball. Run out of the ring now to turn it onto the Ember Spirit. The Boundless also clip onto the Mirana as well. So a bit of an opening as Execration, and when they forced to fight, Radiant thought they had the opportunity to be able to take the skirmish, but Execration, they're just so goddamn far ahead.
bottom tower.
Yeah, way too far ahead. You've got the Skadi now coming through on the career as well for Bob. Palos, he's even been smart. He knows what he's against. He's against this Elder Titan, so you got to make sure you get some armor, build up the AC, not just for himself, but for the rest of the team as well, guaranteeing that you're always going to have some armor, and you really need to full-on commit as a full unit on Spawn to make any kind of attempt, and they've probably got a little less minus armor than they would have been hoping for. Right, the presence of the Dark Lord, of course. You've actually got the Desolator picked up on Ember Spirit, but yeah, they need more.
Oh yeah, they need way more. They might need 6 heroes in
They
this
need
game.
to press Shift, Enter, and
Oh,
GG. And there we go. Travis listens.
Karma said tip you. Interesting. I don't know who Asta has beef with in on Spawn's team, but
Radiant's middle
It's just bans.
attack.
just
For
Bance.
sure. All right.
Well,
Pretty convincing win though. Like, did game one go to like 40 something minutes or was it 30 something? Because these games have felt pretty convincing. Excuse me, from the more, let's call them established teams coming across. Both Execration and Lilgun, I believe, going back up to Div 1 of the Southeast Asian DPC. So clearly getting the reps in, even if they have to go through the lower bracket, they certainly didn't look like lower bracket teams today.
no, they did not indeed. Game one was 38 minutes as well, to answer your question. So, yeah, this series just going a little over an hour compared to our first one was very, very one-sided still once again. And it's going to be exciting to see how Execration and Lilgun are going to be able to make their run through the lower bracket. Of course, it's not going to be easy at all considering the teams they have to go up against from the upper bracket that will eventually be dropped down. But if they can keep this momentum going, they're going to be some scary forces.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens, but we won't be seeing lower bracket tomorrow. We got some more upper bracket happening. What was it? Fnatic, Army Geniuses, and Geek Fam against not Unity Gaming, but eHome coming through. eHome actually signing the roster with the 3 Chinese lads as well as MKS and Jiaoyu. That's pretty hype to see their pretty good performances being rewarded.
Yeah, it is very exciting to see considering we've kind of seen the development of these two players. I mean, Jiaoyu, of course, started in China, like VG Gaming Potential, where it first really came to the scene with that interview he had where he stood in for VG Gaming. Then you had a couple of teams playing in and out in Southeast Asia, and really RSG was kind of the big standout for both MKS and Jiaoyu. So it's exciting to see them on eHome, and hopefully they're able to have a good run here, get that prep in for China DPC, because it's not going to be easy at all. China incredibly competitive, but that is day one of the playoffs done, and very, very one-sided day. Lilgun able to 2-0 their Mongolian brethrens in Purple Paradox, and Execration will 2-0 Spawn as well. Like Danog said, though, tomorrow we're going to be moving to the upper bracket, so hopefully we get some exciting series. No elimination series, but hopefully we get some close matches for day 2 of the playoffs. That's going to be starting at the same time tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for some more BTS Pro Series 13 playoff action.